The story of the book. Guilds. Guilds were groups of artisans or merchants involved in the same trade. During the medieval period, they had considerable influence on society. Chapter 1. The Rise and Purpose of Guilds. The guild system flourished throughout Europe between the 12th and 15th centuries, providing social structure and economic opportunity. The word guild is a semantic mashup of Old English, yield, meaning brotherhood, and Proto-Germanic gelja, meaning payment or contribution. The two most common types of guilds were merchant guilds and craft guilds, such as the Bookbinders Guild. Jan Lyken's Book of Trades from 1684 depicted various trades of that time, including bookbinders, papermakers, and printers, all of which were examples of guilds. Guilds were separate from local government and wielded significant civic authority, setting prices, establishing standards, and controlling membership within a craft or trade. Guilds were essentially monopolies, established to protect the members of the guild and the consumer. They weeded out poor quality goods. They punished price cutting or price gouging. They prevented the sale of foreign goods within the municipality. They regulated competition by prohibiting advertising, and they strictly controlled trade secrets. Much like union membership, guilds provided benefits to their members. They covered a poor member's funeral expenses and gave aid to his survivors. They provided dowries for daughters of poor members, and they provided what amounted to health insurance in the form of care when members were sick or disabled. Guilds also benefited the community at large by building roads, churches, and schools, and supporting local charities. They were an important force in moving Europe socially and economically from a feudal system to a more mercantile, free market system. Chapter 2. Apprentice to Master, the Path to Becoming a Bookbinder. Guilds enabled craftsmen to pass along skills from one generation to the next. Induction into a guild started with an apprenticeship to an established professional called a master. Apprentices worked for no pay for a duration of 2 to 9 years, depending on the guild, and were provided with room and board. After completing their apprenticeship, they were promoted to journeyman status and were free to work for any master, earning wages for their labor. To become a master, a journeyman had to present a superior piece of work, known as a masterpiece, for evaluation by the guild. Successful candidates could then set up their own workshop, hire journeymen, and take on apprentices, becoming a respected member of the craft. Chapter 3. The Decline and Legacy of Guilds. By the 16th century, emerging markets, capitalism, and new technologies challenged the monopolistic control of guilds, leading to their decline. They could no longer maintain monopolistic control over their trades and were legally abolished in most of Europe by the 19th century. In the American colonies, crafts like bookbinding were established, but the guild system was not. However, American bookbinders did form unions in the 19th century, adopting practices like that of guilds. Guilds have played a significant historical role in shaping the book industry. Artisans today continue the traditions of community, knowledge sharing, and craftsmanship. To continue with the story of the book, watch Episode 4, Printing. To learn more about hand and industrial binding tools, machines, and processes, visit the American Bookbinders Museum. Visit our website to check out our upcoming events, including lectures, workshops, and featured exhibitions in our gallery. This project was made possible in part by the Institute of Museum and Library Services. The American Bookbinders Museum. We tell the story of the book.